This week on Africa Weekly, we're in Liberia as its security forces take over from UN peacekeepers for the first time since the end of the Civil War 13 years ago. And then we'll make a stop in one of the world's deadliest cities, Cape Town, where an unusual initiative is trying to bring peace to primary school kids. And we'll meet the gay rugby players tackling prejudice head-on in South Africa. But first, a summary of the stories that made the headlines this week. A moment of silence for the 38 people slain on this beach 1 year ago. The shooting spree by a Tunisian gunman happened just months after 21 tourists and a policeman were killed in another attack at the Bardo National Museum in Tunis. The attacks dealt a huge blow to the country's tourism industry, and now Tunisia hopes that a mix of sun, sea and security can help lure visitors back. Somalia was rocked by a suicide attack and a roadside bomb this week. 11 people were killed in an assault by Al-Shabaab militants on a Mogadishu hotel, just weeks after a similar attack on the city's Ambassador Hotel. Later in the week, 8 people died when a roadside bomb ripped apart a minibus just outside the capital. Lawyers for Saif al-Islam, son of Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, say they will ask the International Criminal Court to drop the case against him, now that he has been convicted by a court in Libya. Saif al-Islam is wanted by the ICC on charges of crimes against humanity, relating to the bloody repression of the 2011 uprising that toppled his father. But last year he was sentenced to death by a Libyan court for trying to put down the deadly revolt. His lawyers say he cannot be tried twice for the same offence. US First Lady Michelle Obama paid a visit to Liberia this week as part of her Let Girls Learn education initiative. In Liberia, just 37% of 15 to 24-year-old girls are literate, according to the UN, with many parents seeing education as a luxury they can't afford. Obama encouraged the young girl she met to resist the pressure to drop out.
No matter what anybody tells you, I want you to keep fighting. Stay in school. Go to secondary school. Go to university if you can.
A 10-day non-stop dance party. A dream for some, a reality for this Nigerian DJ. DJ Obi smashed the previous Guinness World Record for the longest DJ set of 200 hours after spinning beats round the clock for 10 days, taking only a few minutes break an hour. These soldiers in Liberia have big boots to fill. 13 years after civil war ended, the UN peacekeeping mission is handing back the reins to local security. A proud moment for the country, but some citizens are worried that the underfunded police are not up to the task.
Preparing to take responsibility for Liberia's security. These police officers are on a drill to demonstrate their readiness before the UN returns control of security to the country's military and police. It's a proud moment for this West African country, which has had UN peacekeepers since 2003.
The national security apparatus is ready to assume this great responsibility. Preparation in security, there will always be room for improvement. So yes, there are challenges, there are gaps that we still need to fill, and honor our own national security policy. We continue to do that to strengthen our apparatus in the areas of logistics, the areas of training.
15,000 peacekeepers were sent to Liberia after 2 civil wars that killed hundreds of thousands of people. The wars became known for their use of child soldiers, recruited by warlord-turned-president Charles Taylor. The UN's job was to disarm fighters on both sides and train up a new police force and army. Many police are happy with their training, but say they need more resources, like uniforms, arms and transports.
For now, as we speak, the Liberian National Police need cars. We need cars, we need communications, okay, and we need other logistical items like uniforms, okay. So in addition to training, we need logistics.
The UN's peacekeeping mission had a budget of $344 million a year. Liberia's draft budget for national security this year stands at almost a quarter of that figure. And with chronic underfunding come concerns about corruption and accountability.
So we've got huge problems and challenges. Most importantly, the security sector has got to be depoliticized. But we should move forward. And to be able to achieve the details of SSRR. We should ensure that there is an independent complaint commission, and there's a commission responsible to ensure that the executive can look to it in terms of making nominations.
Liberia was the country worst hit by 2014's Ebola epidemic. And it's also worried by terrorism, which is on the rise in neighbouring Ivory Coast. But despite the challenges ahead, it's finally time for Liberians to take back control.
In, out, breathe in, out, in.
Breathing exercises aren't your everyday school activity, but for children in the Cape Flats, they are a welcome escape. Meditation sessions are being held at this school in Bonteheuwel to help pupils alleviate the stress of living in a community rocked by gang violence.
I felt so peaceful. That hyper just came out of me. My body just felt gone. I felt like I was in heaven, free from all of that danger in my street. It felt so peaceful.
But as children learn to meditate, a shooting breaks out on the streets outside. A 15-year-old boy is killed. It's a horrific reminder that Cape Town is the 20th most dangerous city in the world, and that these youngsters are on the front line.
The school is situated in a gang-infested area, and this is all our learners know. There's no control at home. Learners run around. Most of them can't play outside anymore because of gangsterism and shooting in the area all the time.
In an effort to help these children deal with the violence around them, Global Peace Initiative I Meditate Africa is running yoga and meditation sessions in around 60 schools in the Western Cape. They are also teaching the importance of healthy eating and a balanced lifestyle.
Is now and then shooting, but mostly shooting. And my parents had to keep me safe, and I want to move away here, but my parents doesn't have enough money, and I'm in the school, which is very nice.
There are an estimated 130 official gangs operating in Cape Flats, and with the violence on their doorsteps, young people face the risk of becoming involved in it themselves. But with efforts to remove children from the cycle of violence, there's a hope for peace in the generations to come.
It's Saturday morning and training time for the Josie Cats.
Pick up the pace.
But this is no ordinary rugby team. This gay club is the first of its kind in Africa to take part in a regular social rugby league.
What the guys did here, creating a platform on which we as gay people get to play rugby without judgment or prejudice is amazing. You can come here, you can play the sport for loving it. You get to form a bond with some of the guys. You become one big happy family, and there's no judgment from anyone based on your sexual orientation.
Robert joined the Cats when he saw their adverts, provocative posters designed to attract new players, but also to make fun of prejudices. Larry, who plays prop for the team, says he didn't even mind posing as a fairy.
I don't think there were any bad reactions. I thought there might be some at work, but either people stayed quiet or perhaps it hasn't reached them yet.
In a country where integrating more black and mixed-race players in the national team remains controversial, the Josie Cats have also made racial diversity one of their goals.
Well, our next struggles coming up is going to be recruiting black rugby players to come and join us. And there's stigma around homosexuality and black cultures, where in a Western culture, a lot of people have become open-minded and understand perhaps that homosexuality isn't a choice, and that it's who you are.
Founded in 2015, the Cats already take part in a local touch rugby tournament, and they're getting ready for an international gay rugby championship to be held in Miami next year.
Next week, we'll meet the outspoken South Sudanese musician trying to beat the rap as authorities crack down on freedom of expression. That's all from us at Africa Weekly. Until next week.